Convoy commanders, what's the closest call you had that your passengers never knew about? Nobody in my convoy knew we were 30 seconds from dying. I was driving the lead Humvee through Anbar province, responsible for 6 vehicles carrying 14 personnel, including 2 embedded journalists and a lieutenant colonel who wouldn't shut up about his nephew's Little League stats. It was September 2007. The heat made everything shimmer. Dust coated my sunglasses so thick I had to wipe them every few minutes. My gunner, Specialist Pierce, was scanning rooftops while humming something off-key. Behind us, the colonel was still talking, his voice crackling through the radio about base running techniques. That's when I saw the wire. Just a glint of copper in the dirt, running perpendicular to the road about 50 meters ahead. My stomach dropped so fast I thought I might throw up. IED trigger wire. Textbook setup. I'd seen it 100 times in training, twice in real ambushes. But here's the problem. Stopping a convoy in a kill zone is suicide. Moving forward over a wire could detonate it, and I had about 8 seconds to decide. My hands were slick on the steering wheel. The vinyl was hot enough to burn, but I felt cold. I could hear my own heartbeat over the engine noise. Pierce was still humming, completely oblivious. The colonel was laughing at his own story. Pierce, I said quietly, my voice steady somehow. When I say contact left, you engage that blue building at our 2 o'clock. Don't wait for targets. Just light it up. He stopped humming. Sergeant Brendan, I don't see. Trust me. 3 seconds after I say it. I had to time this perfectly. IEDs in Anbar were usually command detonated, meaning someone was watching. Finger on the trigger. The wire was too obvious. They wanted me to stop, to cluster the vehicles together into a perfect target. Classic L-shaped ambush. IED initiates, then RPGs and machine guns from the flanks. But they made one mistake. The wire was placed to stop me before the kill zone, not in it, which meant I had maybe 10 meters before their optimal firing position. I pressed the accelerator, felt the Humvee surge forward. All vehicles dress right on me, stagger formation, increase speed to 60, I transmitted, keeping my voice casual. Let's get through this stretch. Road conditions improving ahead. Road conditions improving. That was our code for, I see danger, but stay calm. Wade, my second vehicle commander, rogered up immediately. He'd been with me in Fallujah. He knew. We crossed the wire at 45 miles per hour. I watched it pass under my front tire, praying it wasn't pressure detonated. Nothing happened. The convoy spread out behind me, vehicles separating into a harder target. That's when I saw movement in the blue building. A figure in the window. The sun reflected off something metal. An RPG tube. Contact left, I yelled. Pierce opened up with a 50 cal. The sound was deafening inside the Humvee. Spent shells rained down on my helmet. The blue building's facade exploded in puffs of concrete dust. I swerved right, giving him a better angle while simultaneously radioing our position and situation to base. Behind me, I heard the colonel. What the hell is— Stay down, sir! I yelled, cutting him off. Wade, suppressive fire on that building. Vincent, watch R6. Donovan, call for air support. The ambush collapsed before it started. 3 insurgents tried to run from the building. Pierce dropped 2 of them. The third disappeared into an alley. We kept moving. Didn't slow down until we were 2 miles clear. The whole thing lasted maybe 40 seconds. When we finally stopped at a checkpoint, the colonel climbed out, pale and shaking. Were we possible hostile activity, sir? I said, my voice flat. Nothing confirmed, just taking precautions. The journalists never even knew enough to ask questions. They were too busy checking their cameras, complaining about the bumpy ride. Pierce helped them unload their gear, making small talk about the weather. Wade pulled me aside. That wire, you saw it. Yeah. How'd you know about the ambush? The wire was too visible. They wanted me to stop. He just shook his head. You saved 14 lives by driving faster toward the danger. That's insane. I shrugged. Stopping would have killed us all. Here's what nobody found out until 3 weeks later. EOD swept that route and found the IED. 500-pound bomb, buried under the road exactly where I would have stopped. Right where the convoy would have clustered together if I'd called a halt. The blast radius would have vaporized all 6 vehicles. The insurgent they found in the blue building told intelligence they'd been watching for convoys all week, waiting for the perfect target. The colonel wrote me up for a Bronze Star. Citation said I demonstrated exceptional tactical awareness under fire. What it didn't say was that I'd had nightmares about that copper wire for 6 months afterward. Still do sometimes. Still see it glinting in the sun, running across the road like a tripwire to hell. And those 2 journalists, one of them published a book about his time embedded with American forces. Never mentioned that convoy ride. Guess it wasn't interesting enough compared to his other stories. He has no idea that chapter only exists because I drove faster instead of slower.